A foreign trip is usually a chance for a leader to forget about their domestic worries. Not so for Benjamin Netanyahu, greeted with a wall of noise as he arrived at Downing Street. As Israelis in London protested his government's actions back home.
I'm here fighting for Israel democracy.
It's going towards dictatorship.
I'm so scared for this not being a democracy anymore. It terrifies me.
I'm here fighting for her rights, so she can be free to do whatever she wants.
These unprecedented protests are because Netanyahu's far-right government is pushing ahead with judicial reforms critics believe will weaken democracy. He wants to limit the Supreme Court's powers to strike down laws and ensure he has more control appointing judges. And so the shouts of shame echoed through Downing Street as the Israeli and British Prime Ministers shook hands. This was scaled-back statesmanship. The meeting brief, the TV cameras not present. The two leaders' statements showed why. Netanyahu said their chat focused on Iran. Sunak said he stressed the importance of democratic values amidst the proposed judicial reforms. These demonstrations in Israel have been going on since the beginning of the year and call into question its status as the West's democratic ally in an unstable region. What were once leftist protests are now spreading through society and, crucially, within the military, with reservists refusing to show for duty. Netanyahu's own Attorney General has accused him of breaking the law for his involvement in the reforms. Amid such pressure, last night it was rumoured Netanyahu might back down. Instead, he doubled down and said his reforms would be passed next week.
Netanyahu had a ladder to climb down. Also, some of the parties of the coalition said, if you want to suspend, pause the legislation, we're behind you. But other parties in the coalition, and especially within Likud, the hard right faction, which is very anti-Supreme Court, are feeling that this is their opportunity. And he also has his issues with the courts. He's currently on trial for bribery and fraud. So he also wants to take this opportunity to kind of send a warning to the judges. And for now, he's digging his heels in. For how long, who knows?
If these protests at home don't budge Netanyahu, perhaps his greatest ally's response might make him rethink.
He hasn't got an invitation from President Biden to go to Washington. That really speaks a lot, the fact that the administration hasn't invited him. He's spoken to Biden over the phone, and Biden has told him, we're not happy with what you're doing. We think that you're damaging Israeli democracy. It's almost an unprecedented intervention by the Americans in Israel's internal politics.
And it's not just internal politics plaguing Netanyahu. As Palestinians gathered for the first Friday prayers of Ramadan, there are concerns an already tense situation in East Jerusalem and the occupied West Bank could ignite, with Netanyahu's far-right partners in government pushing ever more oppressive policies. They may have enabled him to get back into power, but they've now backed him into a corner, fighting fires on all fronts.